Given Labor's focus on affordable housing, wouldn't a fair way of dealing with it be for people like you, Mr Albanese, who own 3 or 4 properties to sell to create a bigger pool of housing which would lower prices? At the moment, you and others are getting tax breaks on properties.
I'll be here. Albo can supplement. Yeah, sure, but Albo can supplement. Look, this is not about one individual, right? This is a structural thing that we've got to grapple here with. You ask about affordable housing. Which party in this election do you think is willing to build affordable housing for Aussies who need it? It's the Labor Party. Which party is going to build social housing for Aussies who don't have a roof over their head at the moment? It's the Labor Party. We're talking today about our plan to help Aussies to buy a home on modest incomes, but there's another part of our housing plan as well, a $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund that will build 30,000 social and affordable homes for Aussies who need it in the first 5 years. Hang on. Right, 10,000 of them, affordable homes, below market rent, for people like nurses and cleaners and AMBOs. The research shows that people who get up early in the morning and put a uniform on and go to work, the frontline workers who got us through the pandemic, on average live further away from work than the average Aussie, right? Hang on a second, with all due respect, let me answer the question.
That's not answering my question.
Well,
the question
I think
was
I did at the
directed to the opposition leader.
If government wants to make a difference here, you've got to show a bit of leadership. You've got to set up the sort of policies that are going to build more affordable housing for Australians. 10,000 in 5 years, 20,000 social housing homes in the course of the next 5 years. For frontline workers, but also I've got to tell you, for women and kids fleeing domestic violence. Now, I can't press this issue enough. Refuges are full to overflowing and people are staying longer than ever because there isn't enough permanent housing for them to go to.
So the question was a targeted question about lack of supply, and I was asking the opposition leader directly about this.
And the boss will comment after me, right? This is the Gordian knot here that we need to undo. Talk to the Property Council or the UDIA and the HIA, they'll tell you the same thing. We've got to release more land, we've got to fix the planning systems. That's why the announcement we made on the weekend was not just our Help to Buy plan, but a National Housing Supply and Affordability Council to set targets for states about the land that they release, to make sure that we've got accumulated data which is consistent and reporting on a regular basis to National Cabinet. And not just that. If you pick up the phone after this press conference and talk to anybody that works in this sector, they'll tell you that what they've been screaming out for is a national housing and homelessness plan. Hang on, just hang on a second. The sentence isn't finished. If we win this election, not just will we do Help to Buy, not just will we keep what the government is already doing, not just will we build more social and affordable housing, not just will we set up that supply council, but we will develop and implement a national housing and homelessness plan. And Scott Morrison will never do that.
Including Anthony Albanese. Just on that question, people own Albanese.
Whoa.
Just on that question.
Hang on. One question at a time. Okay. One question.
My question wasn't quite answered.
If you stop, then there'll be a chance to have an answer. That's the way it works. You get a question, then you get an answer in an orderly way.
I'm going to ask another one.
Hang on.
Do you agree that
just answering my question?
I'm being... You've had enough time.
So the question was, wouldn't it be a fair way of dealing it for people like you?
I heard the question. You yelled it a number of times. Can I make this point? That yes, I have a home I live in Sydney and one in Canberra, and I have an investment property. This policy is not about any individual. Isn't about any individual. What it's about is actually a part of our entire program in terms of assisting housing policy in this country. Remember that the government forgot to appoint a housing minister. I know that when Jason and I appointed as housing shadow minister, I said I wanted it to be one of the priorities that I had as Labor leader to come to the election in areas like childcare, aged care and housing. I identified as 3 big gaps. Since then, we've announced a policy for public housing, a policy for affordable housing for essential workers, a policy for emergency housing, and now this Help to Buy program with a Housing Supply and Affordability Council, the creation of a Housing Australia structure to drive this change through. It's a comprehensive plan that we have. It's about providing assistance to people.